No one is loving the addition of Christian McCaffrey more than Jimmy Garoppolo. He matched a career-high 4 passing touchdowns on Monday, all with McCaffrey on the field. He's completing 79% of his passes with 0 interceptions with McCaffrey this season compared to 62% and 4 INTs without him. Okay, Stephen A.
Yes.
Will Jimmy G keep the Niners from the Super Bowl?
Well, if they don't go to the Super Bowl, he'll be the reason why. That's what I mean by that. I mean, I still believe in the 49ers. I still think they got a chance. I certainly expect them to hand it to the Cowboys when they run into one another, assuming that happens. But if the 49ers, I'm answering this question this way, Key. If the 49ers do not make it to the Super Bowl, it'll be because of Jimmy G. It'll be because of Jimmy G.
Not if he
It ain't
plays
gonna
like
be
he
because
did
of Kittle.
last night.
It ain't gonna be because of Kittle. It ain't gonna be because of Debo. It damn sure ain't gonna be because of Christian McCaffrey. It ain't gonna be because of Kyle Shanahan. It ain't gonna be because of that defense. It's gonna. By the way, a defense is ranked 4th overall, #1 in yards allowed, #1 against the run. By the way, okay. It ain't gonna be because of that defense. If the San Francisco 49ers fail to make it to the Super Bowl, it'll be because Jimmy Garoppolo, a.k.a. Jimmy G, a.k.a. porn star Jimmy, who finds a way
to come up with that nickname last year. Why did you resurrect it?
I would never tire of it. It is not an insult. I am not knocking him for it. I like the name. I'm not insulting him when I say that. My point is that at the end of the day, this dude right here was supposed to be the backup. Because you got Trey Lance that was supposed to be up in there before he got injured. They clearly have reservations about Jimmy G. They told him to go on an open market and get another job. And they were willing to bring him back as a backup. And then Lance goes down, he gets injured. Jimmy G steps up in there. Kyle Shanahan calling play, trying to literally manage him per se. But Christian McCaffrey being that weapon that they got from the Carolina Panthers. This brother's a stud. I've always been a huge, huge fan of his. And what he brings to the equation, to me, is an elevated level to some degree. Because I know Debo Samuel is a wide receiver that can do a multitude of things for you, Keyshawn. But Christian McCaffrey is a running back that can do a multitude of things that wide receivers can do. And I think the combination of those two makes San Francisco formidable, and I certainly don't look at them as being an impediment to the San Francisco 49ers' success. It will be Jimmy G. He will be the reason if San Francisco don't make it to the Super Bowl.
It's easy to point to Jimmy G, right? He can be the easy guy to point to just based on how they handled him, what went on with him in the Super Bowl, and he missed this much. A touchdown to Samuel. We wouldn't even be having this conversation if that happened because he would be on a long-term deal, and we wouldn't even have a conversation.
Okay.
I don't believe that he will be the reason behind them not making it to the Super Bowl or even getting into the NFC Championship game. It won't be because of him, because you said, right, Stephen A., you said, hey, they didn't even want him. They told him, go find somewhere else to go. But do you think they're glad to have him now? Do you think that they're extremely happy to have him now?
I think they're very happy to have him now.
Do you think they wish that they would have never treated him that way now? Of course they do. Of course they do. But in the end, it's going to be because of Kyle Shanahan. It's because of all of a sudden Kyle Shanahan is going to get so tight he can't shoot a BB out of you know what. Because that's what happens to him. It happened to him in the past. It can happen to him again. Now, I look at the games when they went to the Super Bowl and they played Minnesota and Green Bay and they took the football out of Jimmy G's hand and he only attempted about 23 passes in those 2 games. But that didn't serve them well when it came to the Super Bowl. They had him so tight and feeling a certain type of way that it didn't help them. That was more on Kyle Shanahan than it was on Jimmy G. But again, that's more on Kyle Shanahan to now you have to trust that your quarterback is going to do it. You trust him last night. You trusted him in other games. Now give him the opportunity. If, in fact, you get in a position to get to the Super Bowl, let's just not assume that they're going to win their division. Seattle ain't going away. I mean, Seattle's going to be there.
I'm making that assumption. They win in the division. They win in the NFC West.
I'm not going to make that assumption just yet.
You never do.
I understand. Well, why should I? I want to wait and see.
I mean, you are the most unpredicting predictor I have ever known.
Why do I have to predict everything? I'm not a damn fortune teller, son.
Well, why not?
Come on, now, Stephen A.
You should try that, man. It might work sometime. It might work for you sometime.
But look at the schedule.
There could be some money in
look
there.
at that schedule that they just put up. They got the Buccaneers. They got the Dolphins. You think the Dolphins, everybody got them high and fly and tours, MVP and everything, and Tyreek Hill tweeting at everybody. They got the Buccaneers. They go to Seattle. Now, the Commanders is hot and heavy right now. Okay, and then the Raiders, I don't even want to talk about the last 2 games. But them games before the last 2, them are not cakewalks, regardless of what
schedule?
FPI
What's Seattle's
says.
schedule?
I don't know
Well,
Seattle's
you want
schedule.
me to
Okay,
pull-
you got to
I'll
put it
pull
up.
it up.
I'm going to pull up Seattle's schedule for you because I like how you throwing it out there. All of those are very winnable games for the San Francisco 49ers, no doubt about it, because they play roughhouse football. They're a very physical team. And you got some of those teams that lack some physicality to them. So it's going to be real interesting to see, especially that 4-week gap where you're talking about Miami, Seattle, the Commanders,
I have their
and I
schedule
forgot
if
the
you
other
want
team. The point is, I get all of that. But I'm looking at Seattle, too. And Seattle, just when we started praising them, had Pete Carroll as arguably the coach of the year, Geno Smith, runaway choice for comeback player of the year. The minute you started talking about them, they wet the bed. So I pay attention to that, too.
They lost 1 game in what was it at in Germany? They lost 1 game in Tampa Bay.
To Tampa, who was struggling offensively all year long.
Stephen A., it's Tom
And I
damn
predicted
Brady.
that was going to happen too. Oh, really? Really? That's what we're doing
It's
now?
Tom Brady,
So when I
man.
said that you was talking about when I said that you was talking about how they were struggling. Now you're saying it's Tom damn Brady. But
Well,
a
they
few weeks
not
ago
struggling,
you were telling me, yo, they struggling really, really bad.
But the defense is better now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.